Hey everyone, welcome back to English Speakology 2.0. I'm Alex.
And I'm Ryan. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to describe our daily routines step by step using natural sequencing language.
Exactly. This is one of the most useful speaking topics for learners. It comes up in IELTS speaking, in job interviews, and even in casual small talk with new friends.
Right. Tell me about your typical day is a classic question. And a lot of learners answer it with short, disconnected sentences. I wake up, I eat breakfast, I go to work. It sounds robotic.
So today, we're going to show you how to connect those ideas smoothly using linking words like first, after that, once, before, meanwhile, and finally. We'll each describe a full day, and we'll point out useful expressions as we go.
Let's get into it. I'll go first. Okay, so my day usually starts pretty early. My alarm goes off at 6, but I always hit snooze once before I actually drag myself out of bed.
Honest start. I think everyone can relate to that.
Once I'm finally up, the first thing I do is head to the kitchen and make coffee. I can't function without it. While the coffee is brewing, I check my phone for messages and quickly scan the news.
So you're multitasking right from the start of the day. Pretty much.
After I've had a few sips of coffee, I jump in the shower. That's usually when I wake up properly and start thinking about what I need to do that day.
That's a nice detail. A lot of learners forget to mention what they're thinking or feeling during an action, not just the action itself.
Good point. Once I'm out of the shower, I get dressed and grab a quick breakfast. Usually just toast and eggs. I try not to spend too much time on it because I like to leave the house by 7:30.
What happens after you leave the house?
I commute to the office, which takes about 40 minutes by train. During the commute, I usually listen to a podcast or review my notes for the day. It's actually my favorite part of the morning because nobody can bother me.
That's a great way to describe dead time productively. During the commute is a really useful phrase, by the way. It shows two things happening in the same time frame.
Right. So as soon as I get to the office, I grab another coffee, yes, a second one, and I check my emails before anything else. Then I go through my task list and prioritize what needs to get done first.
So there's a clear order. Arrive, coffee, emails, then planning.
Exactly. Around 9, I usually have a short team meeting where we go over the day's priorities. After that meeting wraps up, I dive into my actual work, which is mostly writing and editing scripts.
And do you take a break at some point?
Yeah, by midday, I'm usually starving, so I step out for lunch around 12:30. I try to actually leave my desk, even if it's just for 20 minutes, because sitting there the whole day drains my energy.
That's smart. Stepping away clears your head.
Totally. Once lunch is done, the afternoon is a bit of a blur, honestly. I answer more emails, join a couple of calls, and try to finish whatever I didn't get to in the morning. By around 5, I start wrapping things up and making a list for the next day.
So you plan ahead before you even leave the office?
Always. It saves me so much stress in the morning. Then I head home, and depending on how tired I am, I either cook something simple or order food.
No judgment here.
Thanks. After dinner, I usually unwind by watching something or reading for half an hour. And before I go to bed, I always set my alarm and glance at my calendar for the next day, just so I'm not caught off guard.
That's a really complete day. Notice how many transition words you used without even thinking about it. Once, after that, around, by the time, before. That's exactly the kind of fluency examiners and interviewers are listening for. Let's quickly highlight a few expressions from what Ryan just said, because these are gold for anyone preparing for a speaking test or just trying to sound more natural.
Hit snooze means to press the button that delays your alarm for a few more minutes of sleep.
Drag myself out of bed is a nice idiomatic way to say you got up slowly and reluctantly because you were tired.
While the coffee is brewing, that's using while to show two actions happening at the same time.
And wraps up means to finish or conclude something, like a meeting or a task.
One more. Caught off guard means surprised by something you weren't prepared for.
Great examples. These small phrases make a huge difference in how natural you sound.
All right, Alex, your turn. Walk us through your day.
Sure. My schedule is a bit different from yours because I work from home most days, so my morning looks pretty relaxed compared to your commute.
Lucky you.
Maybe. So I usually wake up around 7 without an alarm most of the time, which honestly feels like a small miracle. The first thing I do before I even get out of bed is check the time and figure out how much I can afford to laze around.
Very relatable.
Once I'm up, I do a short stretch, nothing fancy, just 5 minutes to loosen up. Then I head straight to the kitchen and make tea instead of coffee. While I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, I open my laptop and glance at my schedule for the day.
So your morning routine and mine actually overlap a bit, checking things while waiting for a drink to be ready.
Exactly. It's a pretty universal habit. After my tea is ready, I sit down and plan my content for the day. Since I run the channel, a lot of my mornings involve outlining scripts, like the one we're using right now.
Meta.
Very meta. Around 9, I take a short break to have proper breakfast, usually something simple like oatmeal or fruit. Then by 9:30, I'm back at my desk and I start recording or editing depending on what's on the schedule.
Do you separate writing days from recording days?
I try to. On writing days, I spend the whole morning drafting scripts. On recording days, like today, I set aside a block of 2 to 3 hours just for that, because switching between writing and recording breaks my focus.
Makes sense. What about the middle of your day?
Around 1, I stop for lunch. Since I'm at home, I usually cook something myself, which takes longer than I'd like to admit. After lunch, I take a short walk outside, mainly just to get some fresh air and clear my head before the second half of the day.
That's a habit more people should have, honestly.
Agreed. Once I'm back from my walk, I spend the afternoon on editing, responding to comments, and planning upcoming topics. By around 4, things start slowing down, and I usually switch to lighter tasks like organizing files or replying to messages.
Sounds like you front-load the heavy work earlier in the day.
I do. By the time evening rolls around, I try to be done with work completely. I close my laptop and that's it. No more checking emails until the next morning.
Good boundary to have.
It took me a long time to learn that one. In the evening, I usually cook dinner properly, unlike my rush lunch, and afterward, I either watch a show with my family or read for a bit. Before I go to sleep, I jot down 2 or 3 things I want to get done the next day so my mind isn't racing when I lie down.
That's a great final habit to mention because it shows a clear ending to the day, not just an abrupt stop.
Right. A day should have a beginning, a middle, and an end, just like a good story.
Let's break down a few of your phrases too.
Go ahead.
Make sense means it's logical or easy to understand. Laze around means to relax and do very little, often lying down or being lazy on purpose.
Front load means to put more effort or work at the beginning of something rather than spreading it evenly.
Jot down means to write something quickly, usually a short note.
And rolls around is used with time, like by the time evening rolls around, meaning when that time eventually arrives.
Really useful set of expressions. Notice both of us used time markers constantly, around 7, by 9:30, around 1, by 4. That's the backbone of describing a routine clearly.
So if you're a learner listening to this and thinking, okay, how do I actually build an answer like this? Here's a simple structure you can follow.
First, start with when your day begins. You can say something like, my day usually starts around, or I typically wake up at.
Then move through your morning routine using sequencing words. First, after that, once I've done this, then I do that. Don't just list actions, connect them.
Next, describe your main activity, whether that's work, school, or something else. Mention what happens at specific points, like meetings, breaks, or tasks.
After that, talk about your afternoon, and don't forget to mention how you feel or what you're thinking sometimes, not just what you're doing.
Finally, wrap up with your evening and how your day ends. Mention any habits you have before bed because it gives your answer a natural conclusion.
And throughout the whole answer, sprinkle in time expressions like around, by, before, after, and once. These are small words, but they carry a lot of weight in making your speech sound connected and fluent.
One more tip, try to add small, honest details like Ryan hitting snooze or Alex checking how much time he can laze around. These little details make your answer sound real instead of memorized.
Exactly. Examiners and native speakers can immediately tell the difference between a rehearsed list of actions and a genuine description of someone's actual life.
Before we wrap up, let's talk about a few common mistakes we hear when learners try to describe their day.
Good idea. The first one is using only and to connect everything. I wake up, and I brush my teeth, and I eat breakfast, and I go to work. It's grammatically fine, but it sounds flat and repetitive.
Right. Mixing in words like then, after that, once, and before breaks that pattern and adds rhythm to your speech.
The second mistake is forgetting tense consistency. If you're describing your typical day, stick to the present simple. I wake up, I take a shower, I go to work. Don't randomly switch to past tense in the middle.
That happens a lot, especially when learners get nervous and start mixing habitual actions with something that happened once, like yesterday.
Keep your routine description in the present simple unless you're specifically telling a story about one particular day.
The third mistake is being too vague. Saying I go to work and do my tasks doesn't give the listener much to hold on to. Compare that to what we did earlier, mentioning specific things like checking emails first, then reviewing a task list, then joining a meeting.
Specific details make your answers sound authentic and also naturally extend your speaking time, which matters a lot in speaking tests where you're expected to talk for a full 1 to 2 minutes.
And the fourth mistake, which is a small one but important, is ignoring time expressions altogether. If every sentence starts with then, it becomes repetitive too. Vary it with around, by, before, after, and once, just like we did throughout this episode.
Great summary. Avoiding these 4 mistakes alone will make a noticeable difference in how fluent and natural your routine description sounds.
So, here's what we want you to do. Pause this episode for a moment and try describing your own day out loud, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep.
Use at least 5 sequencing words. First, then, after that, once, and finally are a good starting set.
And try to include at least 2 small personal details, things that make your day uniquely yours, not just a generic routine.
Once you've done that, try recording yourself. Listening back is one of the fastest ways to notice where your sentences sound choppy or disconnected.
If you want more structured practice like this, check out our other episodes on the channel where we break down more everyday speaking topics the same way.
That's it for today's episode. We hope walking through our own daily routines gave you a clear model to build your own answer from.
Remember, it's not about using fancy vocabulary, it's about connecting your ideas smoothly and sounding natural.
Thanks for listening to English Speakology 2.0. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time.